Hindutva doesn't mean that it is only for Hindus. Hindutva is Hindu-ness. Hindu-ness has certain qualities. We believe all religions lead to God. We don't say only Hindu religion leads to God. Christianity says only Jesus Christ is the way. Islam says only Allah is the God and no other God, and whoever says there are other gods, they are kafirs. We are the Hindus are the only religion in the whole world which says that all religions lead to God. Of course, we all as Hindus also think that we lead to God faster than others. And we have created over the centuries such prosperity that India used to be called by the Arabs as Sone ki Chidiya, that is the golden bird. People came as Buddhist monks to India from China and praised India as such an honest, upright country that even people, when they go out in the evening, they do not put a lock on the door. And the economic growth was such that the GDP calculated shows that we were the highest GDP and highest per capita income up to 1700 AD. And only after that the decline started. And by 1947 we had become a poor country. We can once again become a very prosperous country. But prosperous is not enough. You must have a country with a mindset to play a global role to spread values. You can have a very strong, a set of strong lions in a cage in a circus. But when the ringmaster goes into the cage, these lions don't know their strength and they obey that ringmaster. And that is what I found when I saw that my friend Manmohan Singh became Prime Minister of India. With all the power of the Prime Minister, he was afraid of a thin Italian woman. This is mindset. And mindset only comes when we tell our people what our true history is. How many people know that all the countries which were captured or conquered by Islamic forces, they converted the entire 100% to Islam. Same thing with Christians in Europe. They converted the entire Europe to 100% Christian. And all in a short time. Iran was a Zoroastrian country, those whom we call as Parsis, who came running to India for protection, and we gave them protection, and their only place they are surviving is India today. And in 15 years after conquering Persia, which is now called Iran, they converted the population in that period to 100% Muslim. Babylon and Mesopotamia, which is now called Iraq, also in 17 years. Egypt in 21 years. Europe was converted in 50 years. But in India, we struggled with Islam for 600 years and British Christianity for 200 years, and still we are 82% Hindu in our country. Because all over India, we kept fighting. We never laid down the arms. In this great state of Karnataka, you created the Vijayanagara Empire, which went all the way to the borders of Bengal. It lasted 300 years, covered more territory than the Mughals. But if you look at the history book, there is hardly a mention of the Vijayanagara Empire, maybe one paragraph. But for Mughals, who ruled only for 150 years, and covered less areas than the Vijayanagara Empire, there is one chapter for each Mughal Raja. Babur, then Humayun, then Akbar, then Jahangir, then Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. People don't know that in the end in 1795, Baji Rao II of the Marathas, leading the Peshwa who led the Maratha forces, defeated the Mughal finally and hoisted the Bhagwa Jhanda on Red Fort on that day. Our people don't know that 20 years later the British came, we were completely exhausted and tired, and they took advantage. And they were able to rule for 200 years. Now, even those 200 years, you had valorous fighters. Your Karnataka had Rani Chennamma. How many of you know? She fought. And then in 1857, Rani Jhansi. It's only after the defeat of Rani Jhansi by tricks and other methods that Queen Victoria took control of our country and became the Queen of India. So today we have to reverse. I am glad that the Prime Minister yesterday said in Calcutta that we must now start looking at our history and revising it. I will tell the Prime Minister, you are in Calcutta, there is a Victoria Memorial, rename it to Rani Jhansi Memorial. So I am telling you today, we cannot have a proper mindset unless we know the true history of India. And we have to write textbooks, made compulsory, because the textbooks today in our schools are so bad that they make you feel inferior. They make you feel ashamed. And we think that we are somehow inferior when we were the most superior nations. And because we were trusting and we welcomed people from abroad with open arms, people took advantage and then occupied this country. Now we must move forward.